Okay, I'm letting that shit play for too long again. Ignore my voice. They gave my black ass a damn flu shot at work, and it's beating my ass. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm doing a YouTube spiel because I'm on YouTube obviously afterwards. So, welcome back to my channel. But this obviously is Twitter Spaces. If you are new here, my name is Janori Duncan. I've been covering the Milagro versus Megan Thee Stallion case since yesterday. So, excuse me, this is day 2. So, if you thought day 1 was crazy, day 2 was the ghetto. Because outside of the Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion stuff, there was so many other players coming in today, as well as outside drama from the case. Who we'll get into right now. I'm drinking some Dare Flu, trying to get my voice together. Let me say this. Armand Wiggins coming in today was interesting. Because apparently yesterday he asked his fans, should I come cover the case? Throwing shade, saying that the people that were there can't cover it good. Now he don't know who I am per se, but he was referring to Donat and Megan Cuniff. But like I said, she cool peoples, but she boring as hell. So, and we're getting to the tea. Oh, girl, there was a lot today. And like I was telling people earlier that I was speaking to about the case, it's different when you listen to Milagro talk for like 4 hours and she's giving her usual spiel and she's talking in her ebonics and all that stuff. But when you're watching her in the courtroom and she's poised and she's, speaking proper, and yeah, she still got the Milagro twang and the ghetto still comes out, but it's like it's a whole different person, which is crazy than the fuck. But that's why black people know the code switch. That's what we do. Let's get into it. So, first and foremost, both Megan and Milagro were late. Well, let me rephrase that. Megan got to the courthouse maybe 5 minutes before 9 o'clock, but Milagro got there maybe 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. I don't know where Millie is staying in Miami, but apparently, as I said yesterday, I didn't know Megan had a residency in Florida, but her residency is in Pinecrest, which is like an hour and change away. So with morning traffic and everything, with morning traffic and everything, she got to fight the traffic. So as me and Donat and the guy Kyle from TMZ was waiting to see when she popped up, I was like, well, they're late today? Because mind you, when I got there yesterday being Monday, around 9-ish, getting lost in the courtroom, everybody's already there on time. So to be early and see them coming late is crazy. Let's get into it. So Judge Antanaga, well, crazy tail self, opens the trial saying that somebody in the jury, and mind you, I told y'all that the jury is all over the age of 30. They said that they were confused because at this point, as the first day's gone by, there's too many names being said. So sometimes they refer to Tory as Tory Lanez, and sometimes they refer to Tory as his government name Daystar Peterson. Sometimes they also refer to, his daddy as Sunstar, which is not what his name is. And then you got Kelsey. They introduced Chelsea, so it's all these C's and shit. And then they also Pam Esquire, because I was not here for this, so I watched the Nats show to make sure I got whatever I needed left to go on here today. But apparently I was sitting next to Miss Pam Esquire, and apparently she I guess did the testimony of Kelsey. And that apparently pissed the net off because they got beef, but that's none of my business. But I saw that shit, I'm like, oh, okay. Let's get into it. So first of all, two of the damn jurors were late. Ghetto things. And they were having a lot of lawyer to lawyer conversation. Meaning that like before we actually got like officially started, Megan's and Milagro's teams were talking amongst each other to each other. And I was like, what the hell going on with that? I don't know anything to do with like the jurors or the case or whatever, but I found that very interesting. And then they even said that the jury is like in utter confusion. And I'm gonna get to parts of why later on. Outside, like they're all these 30 y'all don't know nothing. But like again, I understood why they want a non-biased jury, obviously. But the fact that none of them are like social media savvy is gonna make this really hard to make a judgment. Especially the fact that, you know, no shade, but Milagro really did eat Megan's lawyer today. I'll get into that later. So let's start it off. So Milagro takes a stand again, and they open up with a timeline from the incident where Tory shoots Meg allegedly all the way up till now. Okay, so as we know, Megan and Tory's situation started on July 12th, 2020. Megan then calls Tory the shooter on August 20th. Milagro speaks on the fact that the exclusive, which we get into per her receipts, changed her life. And then we get to Sunstar to Milagro. The shooting happened around February 2021. Now, I'm going to have to backtrack a couple of times because that's exactly what Megan's lawyer did. For some reason, today, they decided to keep trying to reference Milagro into Tory's situation with Megan, which they did the first day, which I didn't understand why, but they're doing it again today, and like emphasis going back to what Megan said, what happened to Megan, what could have happened, what Milagro basically, you know, assumed, and then, you know, we get into Kelsey and Chelsea, which again, them folks are gonna be mad confused the rest of the damn trial. But anyway, so they bring up text messages between Sunstar and Milagro about a Tory tweet. In this messages between Sunstar and Milagro, it's in regards to Sunstar asking Milagro to talk off the record. As Milagro said, it had nothing to do with Tory Lane's situation, but Megan's lawyer tried to emphasize that it could have possibly been about that, and Millie assures that her and the father didn't have consistent conversations about the Tory Lane's case, right? Um, they spoke on them having lunch when they met for the first time, and then oh, I'm missing T. Let's go back to the beginning. Not what I'm talking about so far, but about Donat. So yesterday being Monday, I told y'all that when we went to lunch break, that me and Donat ran to Milagro, and she we all went to the 7th floor for lunch. But I ain't like what the food they're offering, so I decided to leave and go to Chick-fil-A. However, people from Megan's team saw Donat with Milagro. And in the beginning of the case, outside of the whole, you know, people not knowing, you know, Tory and all the people's names, they asked Milagro at the beginning of the case, did she have lunch with somebody? Did she talk to anybody from media? Has she gone online, did X, Y, and Z? And I noticed that the marshals had literally pointed at Donat before they started the case. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. So it was already bad enough that, you know, Dana is being a point of contention because they keep calling him out of the courtroom. Is given a plot that Todd said comes with bullshit, but I'm getting to later on why it's becoming a thing because when Armand shows up, it's happening more frequently. But let's keep going. They asked Milagro what's her relationship with Sunstar. And per how Millie said it, because of the fact that Sunstar, he's very religious, he's a Christian, and so, he calls Milagro his daughter, which was also shown in the receipts. And, they're trying to reference the fact that Milagro is Tory Lanez's mouthpiece, that she's on the team, and she quite emphasizes plenty of times that no, just because I support the man, I'm not on his team. They bring up Milagro's ex-boyfriend, Quentin Thompson, on September 20th of 2020. This is a reference to the fact that they were sending each other song lyrics because apparently the song that Tory had put out, and apparently it sounded like he was talking about Milagro, or that was Milagro's voice, but it was Megan's voice, or a girl that sounded like Megan. And I guess Quentin was like, "Oh, I thought it was your voice and X, Y, and Z, but it's Megan's voice, X, Y, and Z, da da da," and trying to figure out like where's the reference to this. However, in those text messages, she makes reference to, "Oh, I can't say X, Y, and Z, but I'm excited," and they were like, "About what though?" She said it was nothing. Obviously, trying to put it towards Tory, but I digress. And then just her slick ass when they asked her, "Oh, have you had songs dedicated to you besides the one that he does reference Milagro in his album?" She gonna say, "Oh yeah, I have a couple songs that are about me." I'm like, "Girl, okay, bitch, like I said, the ghetto come out that bitch sometimes." Um, they reference back to another Sunstar message between her and Milagro, being referenced to how Milagro basically was proud of Tory Lanez's projects. It didn't really mean much. I mean, obviously, as she became more supportive of him, that she started liking his music more, whatever the case may be. So I didn't see why they used that for reference, but of course, anything tied together, they're going to use. Let's keep going. I mentioned the fact that he called Milagro his daughter. He made reference to that. So, also, fast forward to September 26th of 2020. There's a point of contention about Milagro, Sunstar, and Tory Lanez having a three-way phone call. Now, Millie says it had nothing to do with Tory Lanez's case, and she said that Sunstar called her first, and then Tory called behind him, and that's how a three-way call. Again, said it was only about being appreciative of her commentary of the case, but not like specifically to target Tory about their case being his and Megan's. She claimed that the case was not a topic of discussion, and she made reference to that a couple times to try to yeah, I'm here, but I'm not here in that sense. If y'all also remember that Sunstar and Milagro did do an interview. And that's what the phone call is based off of, trying to plan an interview out. Okay, we're going to fast forward. We're now in February 2021. Is when the details of the interview was going to happen and the case may be. And she said that during the interview, did not talk about the case too much. And per what we saw when she posted live, they really did not talk about it. So now we're getting to Millie and Noir's text messages. I was surprised they brought Noir up already, and now we know that nigga's coming tomorrow as a witness. I didn't tell who the witness list like that, but Noir's on witness list. He's coming tomorrow now, so that's T. So the only reason they brought up Noir and Millie text messages is because a radio personality named Star gave Millie a shout out on his radio show, and they was having the fact that, oh, that's cool as fuck, you get a shout out on this dude's show X, Y, and Z, and saying that, oh, he fucks with my radio heavy. This again, I mean, backtracking back to September 25th of 2020, and then they played the audio of Milagro saying that if Tori was lying, then I would be vindicated, and I have been wooed. Emphasize on it, I have been wooed. And they're asking like, okay, so why would you say that if you believe Tori didn't shoot Megan, and why you say he lied? So he attacked her on that, and Milagro, do what she do. She did Ring Around the Rosie and played that shit off real well. She also referenced the fact that in certain receipts that they played that she posted on Twitter, she made it a point to say that TMZ, as well as other open blogs who posted about receipts on Megan, is where she got some of her receipts from. So it's not like, oh, it's only not just me, quote unquote, attacking her. Other blogs are doing that too. Protect herself. And I looked at Kyle when she said that, and he was like, well, damn, bitch, why I get into this? Because, nigga, you're TMZ. When that happened, because I'm also trying to get a look at Megan, because, again, Megan is, like, so still-faced, because we only seen her side profile, because we can't really look at her, like, frontal. And when she said all that, Megan started texting somebody. I don't know who the fuck it was, but she was texting somebody, child. And what is funny is that, again, the jury looking mad confused. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, this jury ain't gonna be able to do their damn job. Anyway, they called relevance on that, right? And then, and then we referenced to Milagro being adopted by, Sunstar. Again, I don't understand this whole, oh, he called my daughter shit, that's important, but, like, obviously she's close to the family, so I just didn't understand why I kept emphasizing that, but whatever. They talked about the pre-planned visit with Sunstar. Apparently via email. Apparently in an email they're asking about questions in regards to, I guess, what she's able to ask him per the interview. As she said again, it was not really talking about Tori case or whatever. And then there was a tweet that Tori put out about the DNA, and she made sure to say, oh yeah, academics posted that first, and I retweeted it. And Megan Laura's like, well, so how you know that was true if you had no reference to know that it was a fact about the DNA? She of course referenced the fact that Kelsey had residue on her hands and Tori had it on his wrist, and that he ain't shoot her. And I'm gonna keep saying a lot that the fact that they keep asking her if she believes Tori shot Megan, and she says no every time. So keep that in mind. I'm going through the receipts. It was definitely given Rotten Nation. Okay, and they referenced the fact that academics deleted that tweet later on in regards to the weapon, the gun that was used that Tori apparently used to shoot to get Megan. Okay, we are now fast forwarding to February 23rd, 2022, in a post deleted by academics, and they played an audio of Milagro saying, bitch, you can't sue me, X, Y, Z. That bitch is threatening that hoe to not sue her, and then she finally fucking did. Because, Millie be acting like she is high and mighty. What I found funny, because allegedly they said that Opinionated Truth is in town for this. Somebody said that, oh, she don't leave her motherfucking state, so ain't no way she's here. And then somebody described her, and I thought when I came back after lunch break that it was her, but I'm not going to confirm that, obviously, because I don't know. But I find it funny that they said she actually in town, and they said that Armand's fans gathered money to pay for her ticket. So I see the girl tomorrow that they describe being her. I'm gonna ask if it's her. Cause they use her receipt from one of Megan's, not one of Megan's, one of Milagro Stationhead shows called Tweet and Delete, and it was her receipt that they pulled up from her. So we'll see about that. I think that's still no next page. I'm gonna do with that. Um, they asked her, "Oh, who gave you an exclusive?" And she literally said, "Girl, I don't know." I'm like, "Come on, hold on, Milagro girl, like, come on now, like, ah." Once again, jury looking mad confused, and I'm telling you, them being confused like that and letting Milagro talk the way she do is I feel like I'm swayed and think she's not guilty. Cause again, they're older than 30, ain't know what the fuck going on, don't know many people's faces or names at this point. Which I'm surprised by now, to be honest with you. I'm very surprised they have not shown their faces. Like, this is Tori. This is his daddy. This is Kelsey. This is Chelsea. Ugh, this is T. Ferris. Again, T. Ferris was not in the courthouse today. I'm surprised by that, but whatever. Let's keep going. We are now on February 24, 2024. I'm guessing they said this is when she meets Sunstar. I thought she met Sunstar before that. Maybe I'm wrong when I took the receipt down, but I'm not sure they met him already. They said that Sunstar was asking Milagro for the original report. I don't know, as a reference to like the police report or stuff that involved lawyers for work, not lawyers for workers. God, my Mo, Unite the People. You didn't mention them yet. I feel like it was part of that. They bring up Kelsey's comments looking for material. So, okay, so now we're in Kelsey's being brought up now. So they played Kelsey's whole 15-minute deposition, which I was bored as fuck, almost fell asleep, because Kelsey's voice was annoying as hell for 15 minutes. Megan looked annoyed, as per usual. And then they bring up Chelsea. Megan looked mad in the fuck when Chelsea didn't got brought. I was like, oh shit. She did not look happy. Because Chelsea's the one who was Megan's old best friend that brought up the fact that Chelsea claimed that Megan was fucking T. Ferris, allegedly. And this comes back up after break. So keep that in mind as well. And then also said that Megan retarded. So, y'all know how Millie talks. So, when Chelsea told Milagro that T. Fierce was her guardian, you know this girl tried to equate guardian to guardianship, like Britney Spears and a Wendy Williams. Girl, I was ooh. Girl, like, ooh, Milagro, girl, don't do that. Because again, part of the lawsuit is that that she called Megan an alcoholic. Talking about 80% is diabolical. I was like, girl, what are you? Oh, Jesus Christ. So then at this point, this is probably like maybe we started at 9:30 ish again. So we're probably like 2 hours in. Here comes Armand. First time seeing Armand in real life. Did not know Armand was like 6 feet tall. I thought he was shorter than that, but whatever. Okay. Again, so they played Kelsey's Depot. Jury looks unbothered as fuck. Don't even dare about none of that shit. And I was mad to play the whole thing. And then, Millie made reference to the fact that she did not believe, Kelsey's side of the story. That because us that been following this shit for a long time know that it seems more plausible that Kelsey's the one that shot Megan, not Tori. But I digress. And when they asked her why she don't feel this way, as Milagro was explaining why she felt that way, Megan's face was still like, still face. And I ain't gonna lie, Millie kind of ate that because I was like, oh shit, okay. Um, we're now again we've been flip flopping back in time. So now we're on December 21st, 2022. in reference to Milagro making a tweet in regards to after Tori gets arrested. And just I'm gonna paraphrase the tweet. She was like, all this case showed me was that your sons, brothers, fathers, uncles can be put in jail and for being lied on, and y'all slow asses is cheering. I'm like, woo chile, what? And then they asked her, why would you say that? And then she brings the fact that Megan be lying, and then brings up Gayle King about her lying about fucking Tory. So they start to lean on the fact that, Tory slept with two best friends, and this is why, Megan got shot and whatever. She emphasized the fact that she believes that Milagro was lying on the stand. But then they played her depo and said that she doesn't feel a need to think that Megan would lie on the stand. So they're also letting her contradict herself enough to where it's like, girl, did you say that or did you say that? And the reason why people said today, like, oh, Milagro ate up Megan's lawyer was because they kept asking the same question like 5 or 6 times, waiting for a yes or no answer, and it wasn't until like this man is getting mad as hell is when they like, is it yes or no? You know how white people is. They don't like that shit. So, okay, so then they bring up the fact about the glass. So, you know that Megan did step on glass. Did not know this part, though. Allegedly, Tori said that Megan had stepped on glass a couple days prior to Kylie Jenner's, little shindig or whatever. And I didn't know Megan came out and confirmed that. I was trying to find a receipt right now. I'm doing this live. It's crazy. I might go look at it myself later on. But she emphasized that, yeah, Megan did say she stepped on glass. So now it's like, okay, she said she stepped on glass a couple days ago. We did see there was broken glass inside the vehicle. Why would it not be glass? Mind you, they said Megan got shot on both her feet, but it wound up being a foot. And even then, not inside the foot, it was always shot in the back of her heel. So, again, all hearsay, but people always thinking that, oh, this came, and some of this shit don't make no damn sense because how the fuck this happened? Okay. Then they brought the fact that, Milagro said that, yeah, I believe she was lying, but then also said at the same time that, oh, I cannot assert she lied at trial. So, again, her contradicting herself. And she does a lot going forward. Because, he's trying to drill her down. Alright. Then they bring up Emilio, the photographer. Just for a brief moment. And then what was funny was, as they're going to bring up receipts from, Milagro shows and the station head or whatever the case may be. And it just so happened, the episode they're showing in the background is the episode where her and Armand were beefing, and she called him out, and Armand was gagged. Armand was like, bitch, laughing. We were kikiing, next to each other. That shit was funny as hell. Back to the night. I'm gonna let you know that he gonna get brought up again sometime between that two. Danat was consistently getting pulled out the courtroom. Allegedly, he claimed that Armand went to the marshal, was snitching on him, X, Y, and Z, and then he also had a bathroom incident. We'll get into that a little bit later, which caused after break for a situation to happen. But let's wait for that. Let's continue. Again, Megan's lawyer was getting real upset, and And I said, oh damn, fuck the jury, right? Because again, you could tell there's no clarity over there. There are questions about the pictures because they also show pictures of inside the car of the gun or the Blickiana. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. And the shoes, the girl's shoes, and because Megan said that they were playing Ring Around the Rosie in the vehicle where Tori was at the end of it all was a bunch of girl shoes and the blicky. So they're like, yeah, that's not Tory's shoes. So obviously he wasn't sitting there originally when all that shit went down. Okay. As soon as that was coming up in the conversation, Megan stared the fuck out of Millie. I was like, ooh, oh, she ain't like that shit. Okay. More questions, more questions, more questions. Bitch getting annoyed by repeating questions. And then finally, I peeped when Armand and Millie made eye contact, and she laughed, because I'm pretty sure she didn't expect him to be there, but obviously he showed up. They then go into the conversation between Tori and Kelsey. After Megan goes to the hospital, he calls her, about where Megan's at and apologizes for the shit he did. And then it asks Milagro, oh, so with you hearing this, do you not think that it was an admission of him saying that he did it? And she said no, because if my best friend got shot by a nigga that I was fucking behind her back, why would I even answer the phone? And even then, why would I even respond to him to hold a decent conversation to where it seems like, girl, he ain't do it for real, because how you talking to him? So she pointed that out. He kind of like stood back, like, oh shit. I don't know how much these lawyers know this damn case all the way through to beyond, because sometimes when they get quiet, I'm like, do y'all not have something to rebut by that? Because then you get quiet and they change to the next set of receipts. Okay. They also referenced the fact that Tori said the only niggas that's gonna get backlash is me. That was part of the transcripts. And then like I said, there was no rebuttal. Child, they bring up Lil Ju on the beat from a post from the Shade Room, and in the comments when someone said, oh, Kelsey shot Megan, Tori said, oh no, that's not true. They asked her, okay, well, how do you feel about this? With the receipt literally standing right there saying that, oh, that Kelsey didn't do it. And Milagro's response was, oh, he's a celebrity, and I feel like, you can't trust celebrity when they post certain things because, excuse me, they have a team, and so I don't believe that, that he actually typed that. So she basically said, yeah, bitch, that wasn't him. That was kind of smart. But we all know that was Tori said that shit. Because again, at the end of the day, not both, but we all know that Tori literally was defending Kelsey the entire time, even everybody's question if she did something. They tried to clock Milagro on this, oh, you're on Tori's team shit, and she kept saying, I'm not on Tori's team. Phew, Jesus. Let's get to the people, the black people in the room, including myself, gagged. Sunstar said Megan had hurt her foot on glass before. I just mentioned that already. And mind, this happened apparently at Tori's house. So imagine, like I said, she steps on glass during the situation, which that's true. But then she also stepped on glass prior to. So that's why they feel like, okay, well, who's the anything about getting shot in the foot when all we got was shrapnel? Again, Megan looked upset when she brought that up. And then the lawyer did a double take. Don't know what the fuck you looking at. All right. And the interpreter, right? So the person who was keeping all the receipts, right, type everything up as is going along, her ass is slow as fuck. There was multiple times during the trial where she had to stop Milagro and Laura from speaking. She was to catch up with her typing, and that was very annoying. Which is not her fault. The lady's is an older young lady. But I was just like, girl, okay. Which one has to come up here? Okay. Where am I at now? Let me see. Okay, so now we're on April 10th, 2023. So this is the time she went to Sunstar's, met with Sunstar and went to see the family. Apparently she said she met more than just Sunstar. I guess in regards to his, I want to say, is it his girl, his wife, and the kids or whatever? May represent the fact that, Milagros closer than we think to the family. Once again, she emphasized the fact they talk more than just about the case. And that keeps coming as a reference. And she said that she sees Tori's a father figure, Tori's dad as a father figure, obviously because he calls her his daughter. And of course, when in the receipts of the messages where Sunstar says that they call the evil empire, that's obviously Rock Nation he's referencing. And at that point, they're talking about I've noticed that Megan, like, when that popped up, I saw Megan start writing stuff. Now, mind you, Megan had not been, like, writing stuff. Most times she's just looking, drinking her water, observing. But I saw her write some stuff down when they said that, and I wonder why. Again, everything's speculation. And then they bring a receipt where Milagros quoting Megan saying that, I'm a Cardi B, y'all hoes. And this in regards to Tasha K and Cardi B's case, and literally May had a straight face. I was like, oh shit, all right. And as we're ending, the first part before break, Miss Sullivan asks a question to Milagro, and she ends the statement with entertainment news never sleeps, Mr. Sullivan, and then that stops before break. Okay. So break is an hour and 15 minutes, because we started 12:15. Let's come back to 1:30. Okay. So we start back again, and then Judge Antanaga, once again, is calling out everybody in the back. Because she goes, was there a situation in the bathroom? You're probably wondering, what the hell am I talking about? Okay. During the first part of the trial, Armand and Donat wound up going to the bathroom at the same time. Now, per Donat said that they had no exchange between each other, but then got on YouTube Live and said that they had exchange, I guess yelling at each other, and then said that Armand tried to get the marshals on him. Now, when I ran into Donat during lunch, Donat said that that he's conspiring against me, and that I done talked to the marshals, and if Armand think he's gonna get me, I'm gonna get him too. So they kicked me out, and kicked him out too. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about because I was not around there. But okay. Um. All right. So we walk in, and there's a tweet on the screen. This is what I wrote verbatim. Let me go find this receipt of Megan's ex bestie telling me was she fucking T Ferris? That's her guardian. I said, Lord, and mind you, me and Kyle look at each other like, bitch, hello? Like, what is... And of course, when we finally started after Judge Antanaga, said what she said, made her read it verbatim. And finally, Judge Antanaga said, like, listen, I know y'all wanted to read with the stuff she said, but I need y'all to with the language. Cause I mean, they literally let her read everything verbatim with the curse words, even if they like scratched it out. And I'm like, well, y'all need to tell Miss Mama to say, hey, don't say the curse words, cause she's literally saying everything. I'm like, damn, you over, like, this bitch cuss so damn much. But she do. Okay. They keep making reference to Megan Spaz T. Ferris. And I said this earlier, but now it's coming up about the whole guardian to guardianship comparison. And then, they're like, so you're basically calling Megan retarded or whatever. And she's like, no. When you're calling somebody's guardian, that means that they don't have the ability to take care of themselves. Like I said, represents the fact of a Wendy Williams and a Britney Spears. And I ain't like that because guardian also means like a parental figure. That don't mean that that person cannot take care of themselves. So I ain't like that reference. But I was like, all right, I guess that's how she's going to use it to push past it or whatever. They called, and then Judge Antanaga out of nowhere said, no, it wasn't Judge Antanaga, it was Millie's lawyer. saying, "Oh, is there a witness in the room?" And we're looking around like, who the fuck the witness? Because at that point, ain't nobody in there has been a witness thus far, besides C. Ferris, but he was not there today. So I was like, who the fuck the witness is? We all looked around stupid, and then Judge talking like, well, I told them as witnesses they can't be in here, and we're just like, okay, well, no one got up and walked out, so I guess no one's in here. Um, then there was a technical issue because they pulled up Milagro deposition, and apparently the audio wouldn't play. So had to wait IT come in to fix that, and then moved on to something else. Um, they pulled up pictures of Megan's residency, like where she stayed at, in Milagro's phone. And they're like, why do you have a search up of Megan's, living quarters in your phone? And Milagro said this is because of the fact that, when it came to her previous team, that she had to go do the due diligence herself to find out where Megan stayed because of the fact that, okay, I know she stayed in Florida. Then they asked her, okay, so have you ever lost any of your social media accounts? This is in regards to her Twitter. Millie always said, oh, because deleted, I'm gonna make a new one. And she claimed that, oh, this is, Megan's fans' fault because every time, my shit is deleted, they spam report my thing, report my page, and they're consistently doing it and they boast about it, with reference to that. And then that's where I left, but after watching what did not put out, literally all that did was continue by Kelsey's deposition, and apparently Pam Esquire, who was in the room next to me, I didn't know she was even there, wind up like talking for Kelsey. I don't know why they did that. Because it's like, okay, well, the girl not there, so why, if you already got her receipts being played, why use Pam to talk about Kelsey's point of view? And I guess that's where it ended, because at that point, once I like looked at what did not sound okay, that seemed like, okay, the first part of the trial was more important. The second part is just y'all re-emphasizing Kelsey's part, and based on the fact that, everybody think, well, not everybody, but people who believe that Kelsey did do it is, combating the fact that everybody said Tori's done it. So that's basically day two. Now knowing that Noir will be in town tomorrow, this should be very interesting. They're only, per what I'm hearing, by who was on the witness list. I heard academics in town. I doubt him or Aiden Ross is coming. I'm pretty sure that the young lady who examined Megan and a person that ran through Milagro's messages will be there at some point in between now to next Wednesday. Toll-free was mentioned as a witness, but I don't think Toll-free ain't coming to y'all with you. He got his own stuff going in the background, as y'all know, and I don't think he need to be coming here for this shit and then come back again for his own shit in they state. And that's really about it. Like I said, the reason why people say Milagro ate the Megan lawyer because of her rebuttals, but like I said, as somebody said earlier, I think you hear him see? Yeah, he was. Because of the fact that you keep asking her the same questions over and over again, you keep allowing to give a different answer, and long the answer starts sounding good, then it makes her sound more innocent. But again, I'm gonna keep referencing this as regards to the jurors. Again, they're all over the age of 30. They're like they have nan piece of social media etiquette. They don't know anything about like Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case may be. And again, they're looking mad confused. Every time the lawyer's saying something, look at Milagro and making references, showing receipts, they always look confused. So I'm scared, not like nerdy scared, but I feel like it's gonna mess them up when witnesses start coming through and there's more confusion based off of what they're going to ask, what's going to be asked to the new witnesses. So we shall see. Again, I don't know who else will be showing up at this point. Armand today was a oh shit. So who's to say what's coming up? And that's about it. Does anybody want to I do it yesterday, but I don't know how long this even is right now. But does anybody want to come up right now, or any questions? If not, I'm going to end it. I'll give it like two minutes to decide if you want to come up or not. With that being said, this is day 2. We start back day 3 tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I hope everybody's on time. But as per today, you know, people's liberation is far out, so we shall see. But if that being said, no one's come up. Thank you for tuning in day 2, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side.